It's Monday, the 30th of September, 2024. We got World War III around the corner. We got Israel, Beirut, Iran, all going crazy. We got two moons about to appear in the sky. We got the elections coming on. We got riots all over the place. We got racism surfacing so much across the planet, all of it orchestrated to keep us in duality. How do we navigate this as spiritual beings? Because as we know, there's a physical war happening, but before the physical war happens, on the occult level, it is a spiritual attack on all levels. Mass MK Ultra, propaganda in our media, in our films. They're attacking us from the water, through the chemtrails, through the weather control. This book, The Coming Times, A Pathway to Inner Peace by the Divine Council and Helen Jane Rose, was gifted to me under a week ago in a beautiful shop called Nirvana Nurture in Broadstairs. It was gifted to me. And this information, I know I need to share it with you. I know I need to share it with you. I'm not making any money from promoting this book. I just want to share this truth because it resonates so deeply with me. Chapter 1, page 11, to fight against anything is futile. Listen to this. In fact, as the planet evolves, it will be viewed as a planet that has been based mainly on lies. Nothing is what it seems on planet Earth, yet everything is exactly as it is supposed to be. Find your power in that last sentence. Everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to be. The darkness that's surfacing in your own life is happening for a reason. Under this full moon, under the eclipses that have just happened, because on the macro, the darkness in society is rising. We are in tune with nature. We are nature. Look at your own life and recognize how things are being dismantled, just like they're being dismantled in Babylon, in the Matrix. This is for you and me right now. Page 12. Truth tellers, brave light warriors, ones who have taken the brunt of speaking your truth and standing up for what you believe in, even when many around you have tried to silence you. We honor you. But listen to this part. Listen clearly. But we call on many of you now to move past the resistance/truther movement and rise in consciousness. What you resist persists. And yes, this is a cliche, but it is true. I've been screaming it for time. I'm not part of the truther community. I'm not even part of the spiritual community. I'm just indigo, revealing my potential, my own unique light. Yeah. But as soon as you start to feel that you're part of the truther community or you're resisting things, you're stuck in the duality and you're actually giving your loose energy over to the agenda, who knew that spiritual beings like me and you would rise up during this time, specifically from 2020. And we would use all of our life force to try and awaken everyone, try and enlighten everyone with the truth. Look at this, look at that, look at that. While simultaneously depleting our life force. This is the call now from the ancestors and from the beings in different realms that are channeling through many powerful people to talk to me and you right now, saying, yes, it might sound cliche, but we call on many of you now to move past the resistance and truther movement. Because let me tell you something, 2025 moving forward is going to be much more chaotic, much more harder to navigate than 2020 was or 2012. And so now we need a new approach. Everything that we've done thus far has been perfect, but now if you're feeling the resonance in my voice, we need a different approach. Let me carry on. If you are fighting against or resisting what is playing out on the world stage, you are part of the problem. This may sound harsh, but it is true. Imagine if you like that you have played your part perfectly, which we have. I know you've played your part perfectly, but you are now being called to move into a higher level of consciousness, away from the resistance and fighting against what is going on the world stage. You will have far more effect now if you act as a vessel of higher consciousness rather than staying trapped within the confines of duality. You are reading this seriously. You're listening to what I'm saying seriously. Feeling the truth within yourself. You are being called to enlightenment and away from awakening. Listen to that. You are being called to enlightenment and away from awakening. We've done the Bumbleclaw awakening part, okay? Awakening and enlightenment are not the same. One means you are still stuck in duality and being affected by the world at large. The other means that you have fully transcended lower consciousness, all its constraints, conditionings, programming and projections, and are residing in a higher consciousness, fully connected to the true you, your soul. You are effectively letting go of all that isn't you. You are fully aware of the bigger you beyond your mind and body and of the power that lies at the heart of you. You know that you are an extension of source energy with a mind that either works for you or against you. And you have now taken back your full control rather than your mind being in control of you, rather than Babylon being in control of you through their opinions, through their media, through their propaganda, through their MK Ultra, all of these kind of techniques. When you are rising above that, I say all the time, if you want to even have a chance of fighting against the occult. You've got to rise above your emotions, rise above your reactions, recognize all that's happening. You are physically in the world, but your consciousness is not of it. You know for sure that everything that happens externally is a reflection of what's happening internally. A peaceful inner environment equals a peaceful external environment. In Buddhism, we call that eshofuni. The self and the environment are always reflecting. One more time. A peaceful inner environment equals a peaceful external environment. Everything that happens externally to you is a result of your thoughts and feelings. Yes, this is perfectly true. Therefore, if you can release all the inner chaos within you, rise above all the negativity that is going on externally on the world stage, and hold higher consciousness strong within you, you are far more effective agent for change than trying to change things at the same level of consciousness that has caused it. Now, this isn't to say that this is some new age bullshit, because as we know, the new age is a new cage. I'm not saying we all just sing Hare Krishna or chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo or pray to Jesus or Joshua and actively just imagine light around us and believe that that will be the thing that will transform the world. No, at first, what this is suggesting, this is deeper than new age. It's suggesting we find our own stillness, our own zen. We reconnect the umbilical cord back to our own soul. And then the right actions will be drawn to us. It could be learning how to unattach from the straw man, the Babylonian false straw man title that was given to you when you have your birth certificate. It could be actions on how to evolve sexually. So you're no longer having animalistic sex, you're having tantric, deep heart-to-heart connection sex. It could be making sure that you're doing the correct things to prepare your family for the turbulent times that are coming, so that you're using your wisdom to be self-efficient. This is how we fight what's to come. It is not a passive stance. This isn't let's all get the sound bowls out, take some cacao and pray for Joshua to save us. No, that is the Abrahamic lie that they gave us. That is the false religious ideology. That is the new age right brain imbalance that they want us to have. Just sing and clap and believe that by being under a park, under a tree in a park, everything's going to be good because we're all sitting on the right ley lines and we're praying. No, it requires, this is my opinion, strong action. But that strong action can only come once you've cleared out the smaller, lower, animalistic self. You can't pour wine into old wineskins, as it says in the Bible. You have to be able to create action based from your Buddhahood, from your source energy, as this book says. Let me continue. This isn't airy-fairy. This is the path of surrender and enlightenment that we are leading you to. As you activate your true state of being from within you, your outer world starts to reflect your inner state back to you. It has to. It's the universal law. But this is a very high calling. It's asking you to heal your inner anger and upset at what's occurring on the planet and also what has occurred to you personally. Let me carry on. It is time to embody the truth that the divine plan is playing out exactly as it needs to, and that you are not a victim of anything. This is going to hurt some people. Some people will be triggered here. You are not a victim of anything. Despite how it may have felt to you, you have never been a victim. And this is the truth. Everything that has occurred is an orchestration of your soul, who absolutely 100% has your back, even when it feels like it hasn't. That you fully agree to be here at this time in the earth's transformation and to hold the light if you like. Do not underestimate the importance of your intentions to surrender and enlighten at this time. Your energy is needed as the collective of light warriors set on inner peace and transcendence is essential now. This is the high consciousness perspective that we wish to lead you to and remind you of. You might say that Earth is at a precipice, similar to the last days of Atlantis. Too many have fallen so far from their inner divinity, and therefore the outer world has become a reflection of such inner living. Remember that the external is only a reflection of the internal. So we come again as a reminder that the most important work you could do at this time in the Earth's history or herstory is to go inwards and make inner peace and trusting your soul / the universe. Make that your priority. We would advise you to no longer worry about anyone else's choices and consciousness, but to focus on your own. You deserve to live a life experience in heaven on earth where joy is your dominant frequency. By doing this, you will do more for saving the planet than you could possibly realize at this time. Going to stand in the park and screaming about how, look what the agenda's done. That time period has gone now. If you're resonating with what I'm feeling, if you feel you need to still do that, you do that. I'm just sharing my truth to the ones that resonate. Higher consciousness calls for you to now rise above the fear that is coming at you from all angles. There is a purpose behind everything that is happening. Please trust us about that. Everything that you are witnessing is part of the divine plan. Everything. There is nothing to fear if seen from this perspective, but you have to do the inner work to get there. The only way out of the external madness comes from within you. When you are in an inner state of peace and connection to your higher self, you realize that the external has no impact on you. For you realize that your external reality is being created from within you, and you know that everyone else's is too. That you can't save anyone. That you can only be the living example of the one who has uncovered the truth from within themselves. You can help to be a guide and a catalyst and act as a living reminder of the one who is at peace and surrendered to their own inner divinity. Oh, that is a sentence. It is up to each one of you to transcend the external world of fear now. But you can only do that by transcending your internal world of fear first. It's letting go of everything that isn't love, bit by bit, as you are guided to. Trust us, if you have the genuine intention to, the right help and assistance will be presented to you, for you do not do this work alone. Help will always be brought to you. And it's so true, my kings and my queens. It's so true. The more that you step into your authentic light, the more that you are your vulnerable self, the more that you reclaim the fragments of yourself that you've given to ex-partners, family members, school, and you start to listen and be in tune with what your heart says. That was the message of Marcus Garvey's son, Julius Garvey, when I went on tour with him in 2022 for so-called Black History Month. The son of Marcus Garvey, the most powerful Black man in the 20th century, Julius Garvey said, you need to get rid of the opinions of your parents, your culture, your race, your sexuality, your ethnicity. And what does your soul tell you to do, and act upon that? And when you do that, as the book says here, the Divine Counsel, if you have the genuine intention, the right help and assistance will be presented to you, for you do not do this work alone. Help will always be brought to you. Just like this book was brought to me as a gift to help embody what I know is the truth, that we are going to win. The so-called World War III is actually the biggest catalyst for bringing in the age of Aquarius, and that we must remain grounded and still within that truth. Only a little bit left. Let me continue. This is the book speaking to me and you right now. We are here to help free you from fear. Remember that if you're in fear about anything, then you are feeding the matrix, not freeing yourself from it. You can be no greater help to humanity than to rise above the drama that everyone is trapped in. This is a very high calling that most will ignore. But the ones who remember that this is why they are here will do more for the evolution of planet Earth than you could ever know. I incarnated to transform this planet and to contribute to that. That's why I know I'm here. That's why I know I'm going to be protected, regardless of the turbulent, dark days that are potentially going to come. Unless you have the genuine desire and intention to transmute your personal pain and darkness, you will never be able to transcend the planet's pain and all her people's trauma. Instead, you will feel the need to fight for her and her children, which most definitely isn't your highest calling. How can we try and save Babylon when we can't even save our own mother, our own family? What ignorance is it to feel like we can be profound leaders in the age of Aquarius when our own home and council at home is so turbulent and our own inner self is on fire? We must heal this to heal that. Microcosm, macrocosm. Humanity must face all that has been hidden. This is the realness. This is so serious now. This is what the new age, new cage don't want to face. They feel like when we talk about the so-called conspiracies, it's too heavy. You're gonna manifest a negative timeline if you focus on that. I'm here to call that BS, because let me read this here. Humanity must face all that has been hidden, especially their own shadow and dark side. What is happening externally is merely a reflection of the lack of love that is occurring inwardly for the majority of people on the planet. Everything that is occurring is calling humanity back to love. But in order to do that, humanity must face all of its fears. This is effectively the spiritual path of transcendence that is now happening on a huge scale. The shift from mind to heart, the remembrance of the soul. Most of you reading or listening to the transmission have worked through so many of your personal fears, but your biggest feat now is to rise above the global fear. Listen to that. Most of you reading or listening to this transmission have worked through many of your personal fears, but your biggest feat now is to rise above the global fear. Because trust me, it's going to get ramped up in ways you cannot imagine. This is the death of a 2,000-year-old system. There is World War III around the corner. Actively right now, as I'm saying this, on the 30th of September 2024, Iran, Beirut, they are going back to back with weapons right now and bombs, yeah? And when I tell you the United Kingdom and the United States, the big brothers of these Middle Eastern war powers are very closely linked to all of it, meaning you, your safety, your family are involved in the biggest transformation ever. But our biggest feat, as beautiful Helen Jane Rose has channeled for us via the Divine Council, says here, most of you reading or listening to this transmission have worked through so many of your personal fears, but your biggest feat now is to rise above the global fear, to realize that everything that you were witnessing, you are not a victim to, and that you have the power within you to become the sovereign, powerful, peaceful creator being that you came here to be. Even the most awake of you are still living in fear if you feel threatened by the external drama that is unfolding in front of you. You will do the world a far greater service if you look inwards and really take a deep dive into your internal affairs rather than putting your focus on trying to fight and save everyone against external situations. We hope this makes sense to everyone who is caught in the illusionary belief that resistance is the way forward. It can't be, even though within duality it feels very powerful. It is within duality, and that's not where the shift is happening. It's a tool and a catalyst, but then it also keeps you stuck. For resistance is the opposite energy of surrender. Darkness and chaos always come as catalysts for spiritual awakening. Please remember that. Some of the key players in your personal life who caused you so much suffering were in fact great catalysts for your awakening, were they not? And so, of course, this is true on the world stage. There's also an affirmation I just want to read out, and I want us all to hold this one affirmation in our heart for the next 24 hours. Just keep saying it to yourself if you resonate. Listen to this. The more I make inner peace my priority, the bigger the gift I am being to the world. 2 more times. The more I make inner peace my priority, the bigger the gift I am being to the world. 1 more time. The more I make inner peace my priority, the bigger the gift I am being to the world. Listen, I believe it's Saturday the 5th in Broadstairs in a shop called Nirvana Nurture. Helen Jane Rose is coming to do a book signing. Come grab a book, come meet me, come meet her, get your book signed. Let's have deep dialogue right there near the Kent Sea and talk about how do we embody our power and our truth, and then how do we go back into our own societies, back into our own families, and be the true leaders that we are. I love you so much. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Thank you for consistently being your authentic, natural self. And just know that we've come to win. We have come to win. All of the darkness we're seeing around us, the P. Diddy situation, everything happening in Hollywood, everything happening in the music industry, World War III happening, the weather's getting really crazy. What's happening? Is it even real? Or is it like a set they're showing us in Israel? And what's going on? It's like, find your stillness, find your truth. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.